For those who come to this book with little knowledge of the Finnish sauna as traditionally practiced in Northern Europe and in North American immigrant communities, two guiding principles bear a quick explanation. The first is that the word is pronounced sauna, with a diphthong drawing out the transition from the A to the U, similar to sauerkraut and distinct from fraud. Sauna is the one Finnish word that has achieved international familiarity. While sauna by any name will cleanse as well and leave the slow practitioner just as refreshed, you will not get off on the right foot with an ardent purist by rhyming your pronunciation with donna. The other principle is that this book is concerned not merely with a bathing practice, but with a specific type of outbuilding on the landscape. Throughout the region in question, essentially the Lake Superior hinterland in Ontario and the northern counties of Michigan, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, dedicated bathhouses on a lake shore, streamside, or a discrete distance from a farmhouse are very common. The typical structure is 20 feet long by about 10 wide with a single entry, evenly divided into 2 rooms with a chimney. If you are traveling along a county road in wooded country, regularly interrupted by small clearings and intersected by roads with names that end in I or ALA or NEN, you are in the heart of North American sauna country. Any buildings you see that are similar to the structure just described have very likely been used as a family bathhouse. The world from which North America's Finnish immigrants came is a place where the essential importance of sauna is beyond question. In Finland, sauna is fundamental, and no empirical examination could eclipse the simple fact that the entire nation could simultaneously call it a day and every last person find a place on a bench somewhere and indulge in one colossal national wave of loyalty. In contemporary Finland, most sauna stoves are electric, and such a strain on the grid would idle all other activity. An anecdote demonstrates how tenacious the Finnish people are in defense of the institution, as well as the dark side of sisu. During a recent winter cold snap, the government urged citizens to turn down their saunas to conserve electricity. The next day was a Friday, and by evening the collective response had registered. Electrical demand surged to record levels. Without compare, the iconic characteristic of a Finnish farmstead was the sauna, a distinct outbuilding that was often the first structure built at the home site, according to immigrant folklore. With its own hearth and a solid roof, it provided a ready shelter for homesteaders as they began to carve a living from the Northwoods, then became a dedicated bathhouse once a proper house was built. Throughout the life of the farm, frequently enduring even the advent of running water in the farmhouse, the sauna provided a place to bathe and host a healthful and spirited activity during weekly social gatherings among neighbors. As fields expanded, families grew, and roots deepened, the typical sauna saw use on Wednesday and Saturday nights, with much more frequent heatings during seasonal events like summer haying. But where this practice of bathing in another building was noticed by American neighbors, especially those who did not come from the other Nordic countries, sauna gave Finns an early reputation as strangers in a new land. Lakefront settings favor any sauna for the easy accessibility of abundant fresh water to produce steam and water for bathing, as well as for swimming. But in the Lake Superior region, swimming opportunities that involve a warm lake on a very hot day are uncommon. And during some summers, the water never quite gets warm enough unless the sun is blazing. On northern shores in North America, many saunas serve as warming houses as much as bathing chambers. Lake Superior is the deep and wide sea that these lakes feed, and its massive volume, greater than the other Great Lakes combined, ensures universally cold water beyond the shallowest, stillest bays in August. 40 degrees Fahrenheit is the lake-wide average, a short measure milder than ice. The sauna tradition, which derives most significantly from present-day Finland, has enjoyed widespread popularity across cultural boundaries. The essential component of a traditional sauna is the kiuas, a wood-burning hearth used to heat rocks that produce an abundance of steam when doused. Several developments have made sauna practice much more convenient and accessible, from chimneys, concrete floors, and running water to electric stoves. Even the elemental sauna stones are abandoned by some for brick or ceramic substitutes, or even for generating the steam from hot iron. But the essence of sauna is implacable dry heat interrupted by waves of lulu, a word that derives from the concept of the soul and describes an elemental component of a pre-modern Finn's world akin to water, earth, metal, and death.